Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the mayor here, Heath Sheeran, with another 3-minute video. And this week we are talking about Eeyores. As you heard this week, if you haven't, go back. Kelly talked about identifying the Eeyores in the agency. We talked about if you could change them or not. And today we're going to be talking about, navigating around or working with an Eeyore. If you determine that you cannot get rid of them or it's not the best move to, maybe now we look into the option of working around them, working with them to try to figure out how they could be used for good. Maybe how we could turn that into a positive. And working with the Eeyores, I've figured out a lot of times they are more your detail-oriented types, and maybe they're more those types. That's 90% of what I see in the Eeyores. And maybe you could find a way to turn that into a positive. Asking pessimistic or Eeyores in the agency to shift their perspective. And maybe instead of them saying, I'm just not going to do it, or being disruptive in the sense of, I'm just not going to do it, or, they become that cancer and talking about it, the water cooler or whatever. Maybe you come to them and ask, what's wrong? What would you do? Or do you see a different process or an improvement to the process? So if you're trying to introduce a new procedure, a new process, or a new item into the agency and there's a little pushback, hey, Eeyore, what is your solution? What do you think? Is there a way that we could improve this? Or is there a way that this could be different? What seems to be the problem? And maybe they have an idea. Maybe that employee feels like they're not being heard. And maybe we need to listen to their thoughts more. Maybe they have some valid ideas for changing the process or the program. Could be a part of their strength to bring to the table to identify problem issues or future issues. Maybe they see it ahead of time. I think it's an idea to try to get Eeyores on the same page with us in that manner. So I just really wanted to challenge us to think of it from that perspective. Again, if that does not work or it's not something that you see as feasible here, the other option is to make them have them more of a task-oriented role to where they come in, they get their job done, and they move on, and not have an opportunity to complain a lot or to be heard in that way that is going to bring that cancer. And maybe we separate them from a large group that they could impact with their negative attitudes. Have a conversation with them in their next review. Maybe they don't recognize with them and let them know that this is what your expectations are and here's how it's going to be. And if they do have the negative comments from time to time, then we just let it roll off our backs. I truly believe there's a difference in having a bad day or a bad week or maybe a bad season in your life. Maybe you're struggling with some things. Maybe that Eeyore is having a tough time at home or struggling with something internally. And so instead of them bringing that there, maybe you figure out a way to turn that into a positive. That could be a large part of it. So I think instead of trying to let them be that cancer or trying to work with them in the way they are, maybe a way of working around them is to try to turn that into a positive or take them out of situations to where their negativity can negatively impact the agency. I really feel like the goal should be not to immediately try to fire them or to get rid of them. Maybe try to empower them first, or maybe try to work with them to turn more into a positive person. Maybe they won't ever be a Tigger, and maybe they won't always be upbeat and bubbly and positive, and that's okay. To each their own in that. But being a cancer and causing problems and not doing certain things can cause a major problem in the agency. So let's look at ways of dealing with it from that perspective. I really hope that this video has helped you. I hope that this week with the Eeyore videos have helped you. We'll have a mashup video coming up soon, and I really hope that that's really going to help you a lot. You can check out the podcast, send it to your friends that may have an Eeyore in the agency, and this may be something that can help someone outside the industry, so maybe you send it to them as well. Again, I hope this has been helpful, and I will see you on the next one.
Hi everyone, it's a special PSA, a public service announcement here for our loyal followers and listeners of our 3-minute videos. So we started doing a daily 3-minute video when COVID hit. It was our way of connecting and people were at home and we wanted to bring positivity to the world. But now, as we have hit the 2-year mark of doing a daily video, we've decided it's time to change things up a little bit. We have some other forms of content that we think you're going to love. So the 3-minute videos will not be put in a graveyard. They are instead going to be changed up a little bit. So what you're going to see is a little bit of a throwback video. We're going to highlight our top 10 greatest hits in the last 2 weeks. Then we're going to go all into talking about commercial sales as Heath Sharon is emerging with his new course on how to prospect and sell commercial. So great for anybody out there. You're going to start to see our content change up in the month of July and get into a new rhythm in August. We can't thank you enough for your loyalty to our 3-minute videos. We know that they've given people a lot of tips and tricks, and we've gotten a ton of followers out of them. But just like everything in life, all good things must come to an end, and we think we've got something extra special cooking up our sleeves, so we can't wait to share that with you. In the meantime, please go like our social media channels. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Like them. That's where you're going to get special announcements. Also, make sure you're watching your email for even more special announcements on everything. We appreciate everything that you guys have done, and we can't wait to share with you different forms of content. So we're not going away. You're still going to get all the APP awesomeness in your inboxes and on your social media channels. We're just going to change things up just a smidge to make it even more ridiculously amazing for you. Thank you so much, and we absolutely look forward to what's next. Take care.